to Radio Sensation. I'm your host, Dan. Today I'm going to be looking at the Bigfoot filmography book by David Coleman and published by McFarland Press. If you like this video, I would ask that you please subscribe and watch some of my other videos. I have a lot of great books and comics that I look at. Not every one of my videos has turned out as well as I had hoped, but I'm just getting started, so hopefully you find some other stuff you'll enjoy. Let's take a quick look at this book, okay? So this book tries to cover every time Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or Yeti. He kind of uses these, he's not saying that these don't describe different creatures, but all these creatures are gathered together in this book, since it's all basically the same idea. And he tries to cover every book and every TV show and every one of those documentary films that had to do with any of those three things. And he also tries to do some things that are kind of related. And some of it's kind of, the later chapter where he talks about tangentially related things like, are a little off the rails, like King Kong. I don't, do you need to know, hear about King Kong in this book? Probably not. But it is a great book. He gives a synopsis of the film or the documentary or the TV show. And then he talks about how the beast was utilized, whether it was well done, that type of thing. And so I've highlighted a couple things here to kind of give an overview of it. Here's some interesting things, although he's not really covering like toys and things like that. He does occasionally. There's one for a Sasquatch game, the giant snow monster game. I don't know that one at all, but that's an interesting one. And here's Argosy, an issue of a magazine. There's Bigfoot fighting a bear that has a kind of a not very bear-like posture there. And then it goes into the there he talks about the gorilla films that kind of led up to it, There's Kong mentioned, Gorilla Woman, The Abominable Snowman, the Hammer film. There he talks about Planet of the Apes. Here it goes, The Terrible Mask from Bigfoot, 1970. And that is a pretty terrible mask. And it's a pretty terrible movie. And then part 2, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and Yeti films and television programs. Very first one that's covered is Abominable, which is a movie that I actually really enjoy. It's got a lot of exploitation elements to it. The Bigfoot is wildly violent. It's not the greatest costume. It's really weird looking though, and certainly aggressive looking. It's got some nudity. It's a fun movie, fun B movie. And then there's The Abominable Snowman from the Hammer film that I was just talking about. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all this. Here's one of my favorite the Bigfoot posters. This is a great one with a guy being tossed off the motorcycle. And there were a lot of movies made about kids becoming friends with Bigfoot. I mean, we all wanted a Bigfoot for a friend, right? I almost do kind of want to show up every time they have a photo, but I'm not gonna. There's a independent release that was put out by Troma. that Bigfoot looks a lot like Harry and the Hendersons' Bigfoot. Like I said, it covers all kinds of documentaries. I think he's got a good writing style. I think he covers these pretty fairly. Um, there's from the movie Creep Show, there's the monster from the crate. Whether I would consider that a Bigfoot or not, whether it should be in here or not, they err on the side of being too inclusive as opposed to taking the chance of missing out on something. There's Cry Wilderness, a really terrible Bigfoot movie that MST3K, the Netflix version, did. It's actually a really funny episode because the movie's not very good and it's padded out with all kinds of nature footage and things like that. And there's another one where a little boy is friends with a Bigfoot. What is... Oh, Demon Warp. I was gonna, oh yeah. So here's a little bit of when he's talking about whether or not they use because Demon Warp, it's a fun movie. It's not good, but he talks about, he does describe it. He talks about the script being poor, but they also talk about the Bigfoot suit. And he says, finally, the Bigfoot suit is overutilized. While it looks impressive, given that it was made for a reported $6,000, which included 2 other creatures as well, the director shoots it in lingering close-ups in daylight so much and so often that it becomes ludicrous early on in the movie. One especially bad trademark of this cryptoid's screen appearance is a snarling lip on the left side of the mouth. Clearly, an interior cable is being pulled to expose the fake fangs beneath, but the effects crew yank it so often it appears this hominid suffers from Bell's palsy, with its quivering rubbery lip flapping in every shot, slime dripping from inside the gaping jaws, an incessant need to attack anything that moves in its vicinity. This is definitely one screen's Sasquatch in desperate need of veterinarian care for rabies. So that gives you the kind of an idea of the kind of reviewing he does for this. I just put this here because I really like the suit from Half Human, the Japanese film. And talking about how thorough it is, it covers those Jack Link's beef jerky messing with Sasquatch commercials. I don't know, I don't know if you remember those. I'm sure you do if you see them. A human will be teasing a Sasquatch that would really like some of this beef jerky. He like, oh yeah, you want some beef jerky out here? Well, no, you don't. And then the Sasquatch gets mad and does something to the human. Anyway, so that's how well they cover it. Like I said, there's King Kong is mentioned. I don't know. Maybe that's, I don't know if you need to do that. It covers the Land of the Lost TV show. Chaka and his people are they consider them Bigfoots. I guess they're supposed to be like missing link kind of creatures, or some humanoid kind of cross between the evolutionary chain, not human, not ape. I don't know if that really means it should be in. I guess yeah. Why not put it in the book, right? I saw this. This looks absolutely terrifying. This is a really early CGI. It's from 2006. CGI kids movie about Sasquatch. I'm sure that is so hideous to look at. So that being said, McFarlane Books are. There's a couple of guys from one of the documentaries. Prophecy. Yeah, that's another one. This is another one that's should be included because it's a mutated bear. It's a bear that's been messed up by chemicals that people are putting in a lake. So anyway, but if I read it, maybe they've got a good idea for why they think it fits. But there's look at all these ones for TV shows. The Red Green Show, The Red Files, Quantum Leap apparently had a Bigfoot episode. So yeah, so it's very thorough. It's a little expensive because it's McFarlane Press. They are just kind of expensive. But I definitely thought it was worth it. I think David Coleman is a good writer. If anything, he's included a lot of stuff that maybe doesn't need, maybe it could be a shorter book. But it's in there. You don't want to read about it, skip it. In the meantime, he covers a lot of things. I had watched a lot of Bigfoot movies when I was younger, enough so that I couldn't keep them straight. It's nice to read it in here and go, oh, that's the one where this happens, so that I can go back and look for them if I want to. So this gets a thumbs up for me, a recommendation. If you're into Bigfoot at all, if you're into cryptoids, if you're just into good film reference books, I recommend it.